Today I begin building my outdoor kitchen, and the first job I need to do is build the walls. The plan is very simple. I have 504 bricks and I need to turn them into walls. What could go wrong, right? But before I even start thinking about that, there's a couple of things I need to prepare. First, I need to clear this space right here because this is where we are going to be mixing the mortar. And I would also like to cover the floor a little bit because otherwise mortar will just go everywhere. And I also need to clear the area right here because this is where the kitchen is going to go. I'm starting by moving as many things as I can to the other side of the patio. I need all the space I can get for all the materials and all the tools. I'm moving this big piece of plywood. It's really heavy, but I need to clear the way so I can bring in the mortar and I can move all the bricks. Now we're bringing in this heavy porcelain top. There was no way I could move it on my own, so I called for some muscle. I'm covering the patio with a dust sheet. I spent so much time building it, I want to keep it clean. I'm trying to cover the area with whatever I can find without my wife killing me. Let's try my luck. I moved outside and I'm trying to cover the area with a bulk bag because I didn't have anything else, but then I remembered actually I did have some sheets I used for painting previously and I grabbed a few of those and that worked much better. Jesus, I'm tired and I haven't even started yet. I guess that's what an office job does to you. Whew. Let's put the cement mixer in place. Now I'm setting up the cement mixer. I always struggle with this. I'm not sure if I'm doing this wrong or not. If there's a better way, do let me know in the comments, guys. I lost the pin that's supposed to secure the legs, and then I found it. With the cement mixer in place, I'm collecting all the tools that I think we're going to need for the job. Of course I forgot half of them and I only realized after I finished filming this segment. Preparation stage 1, I think, is pretty much done. Look. And our MMA, our mortar mixing area, is waiting for us right here. But before I do that, I'm going to use my wheelbarrow and bring a few bricks down to the area where the kitchen is going to be built, because I don't want to be coming back and forth. Right, so I moved about 100 bricks in here, and then I had some lunch, which obviously I haven't filmed for you guys to see. The next thing I want to do is just lay the bricks down with no mortar, no nothing, just to get an idea of how this is going to look like, make sure that the measurements I made previously are actually correct. So let's do that. The idea is that we're going to have a double wall here, and then another double wall about 85 centimeters after. Why double wall, I'm going to explain later on, but it needs to start about 20 centimeters in, but right here, because later this year or maybe next year, I'm planning to build a gazebo for this patio. So we'll need some sort of post right here to support it, and that's why we need that extra space. I'm measuring 20 centimeters on each side of the tile, and I'm leaving a mark. Then I make a line between those two marks, and this is going to act as sort of a guide for the first bricks. I'm laying the bricks down without any mortar, just to sort of try and visualize the kitchen. I think it will also help me build some muscle memory, because I've never done this before, and I think this is going to help. I'm leaving a bit of a gap for mortar, obviously, in between the bricks. I'm not entirely sure how big it's going to be, but approximately it's going to be something like this. At this point, we are going to have to make a corner, because here is where the second double wall goes. So this width from that first brick there is about 91 centimeter, which is about as much as I want, because essentially these internal walls are gonna serve as a bed for the shelf that's gonna host the new barbecue, and the outside wall is just gonna continue a little bit after that bed stops, to create a sort of nice surrounding around the barbecue. The barbecue I want, I think it's about 80 centimeters, but I thought I would go for 90 to be on the safe side. So yeah, this is how it's gonna look like. The idea is that this wall is gonna be crossing this wall. What I mean by that is, I don't actually know how to explain this properly, but what I mean by that is that we're gonna have to do this. So essentially, they're both be holding each other, and this one is just going to continue sort of independently from these two, because I can't really find a way to make a three-way connection between them. Obviously, there's gonna be some mortar right here. They're going to link each other quite well, but we just won't cross the bricks between all three of them. That's only gonna happen between this one and this one. And then on these sides, we're gonna do the same thing as we've done here. Like this. There you go. And then this is going to continue basically as far as I can go. It's a moment of truth. I've removed all those bricks I've tested earlier, and now I need to mix some mortar and some primer and start actually laying. I'm a bit terrified, to be honest, but I'll try my best, and as always at the end, I think it's gonna be fine. Let's go. Let's mix some mortar. So I had a lot of practicing when I built my patio. I did it about 35 times. So I think I got quite quick with it. First thing I do, I've got this 12 or is it 14-liter bucket, and I fill it about the half of it, maybe 3/4. Put that in, put the whole cement in. This one is like 25 kg. It's a pretty standard cement pack, and let that work for a couple of minutes, and then add sand until it looks nice and creamy. If it looks nice, like you want to eat it, it should be fine to go. All right, let's do it. So where's my water? Very nice, isn't it? Look. Now I'm mixing the slurry primer. About 2 fingers of water, a bit of that mix, and it's nice and creamy. This is going to go on the porcelain, on the patio, so that when the mortar goes on top, it sticks to it really, really well. Time to start. I've got the slurry here, which turned out to be, well, not exactly the consistency I wanted, but I think it's going to be fine. So the idea is that it's going to go down a little bit, and then on top of it I'm going to lay the mortar, and then we'll start laying the bricks. There goes, my first brick ever. Ooh, I should start at the back. Okay, yeah, first mistake ever as well. This one is the first one to go in. Mistake number 2, I forgot to butter this brick, so there's no space between them. Just gonna remove both of them and go again. That's fine, just building some muscle memory at the moment. All right, 4 bricks in. I'm gonna grab something and clean this mess up a little bit because it's gonna be very hard afterwards, and then we're going to continue. Cleaning done, so let's continue. I'm gonna lay one more right here, and then I'm gonna start with the second line here. Time to do some more cleaning. I'm going to continue this way because I want to lay the first line across the entire kitchen before I start doing the second level. So, situation update. My iPhone ran out of battery and storage, and while it was charging, I finished this line over here. I'm not sure if you can see that. So this line over here. So the only one left on the base is one line right here, because it's gonna be a similar double wall like the one here. Let's get to it. Look, here's where I got to today. I definitely didn't make as much progress as I hoped for. My phone kept dying due to battery, and I was running out of storage as well. The prep in the morning took quite a long time, which I didn't expect at all. But it is what it is. It is some progress, and I'm gonna go get some rest, get recharged, literally recharge my phone, and I'll be back in the morning to make some more progress. Good morning, I'm back. It's been a week. A lot has happened since. So let me tell you, the first thing that happened is that I've upgraded my gear. Thing number 1, I have bought the cutest little cement mixer you've ever seen in your entire life. Let me show you. Ta-da! I don't know if you guys can tell, but look at this wheelbarrow. It's pretty much as big as that cement mixer. It's tiny, and the reason I've done that is because I don't want to rely on renting one, because as you've seen last week, it was raining really hard. I couldn't do any work, so I had to send it back, and I had to pay more money to rent another one. So instead of doing that, it's cost me pretty much the same, because this one is smaller, to buy one myself and not rely on anyone else. The second thing I've done is upgrade my camera. I talked about this a few days ago. I kept running out of memory and I kept running out of battery. So I bought a new camera with a couple of batteries that come with it, and an SD card, which will let me film quite a few hours of footage. Because remember, it takes quite a few hours of actual footage to get to a 20-minute video. This is not that camera. This is still my iPhone, because that camera hasn't arrived, but it will help me in the future. The third thing I've done was to watch a whole more YouTube videos on how to actually lay bricks, because I've been really bad at this. But I think I've got a few improvements in now that will make a difference. So first of all, look at this. I've covered the entire area. And that's because the last time I spent a lot of time trying to clean the patio. And this is the other improvement I've made. I know it doesn't make any sense whatsoever for now, but you will understand why I did this. in a few minutes time, and hopefully it's going to help me lay bricks a little bit faster. I'm going to make a lot less cement this time because the last time I had a lot left over. But immediately there was a problem. As soon as I put the water in, it started leaking all over the place, and I very quickly realized that I didn't put this thing together correctly. So the next thing I decided to do was to put the cement in, which made everything so much worse. So it started leaking not just water, but a cement and water mix, which went all over the place. So yeah, I had to put a bucket underneath, and then I decided to tilt it, which made things even worse. It started leaking way more than before. So I put it upwards, and I decided to add some sand to hopefully stop it. However, that resulted in everything getting stuck at the bottom of the cement mixer, which I then tried to get out. That kind of worked, so I put back all the cement water mix that leaked out earlier, and in a few hours I ended up with actually some water. And at this point I realized what went wrong. You can see on top of this drum, so those two drums, they go together, and that ring was supposed to go in between them, which I did later, and I had no issues. The first one is always the most important. Okay, one in, let's go. Oh god, I forgot to butter this one. Okay, one more time. I've changed my mind. I told you earlier I was gonna cross these two walls. I've just destroyed my string. That's fine, I'll put it up again. But anyway, I told you earlier I was gonna cross these two walls, but I think that's just gonna be a waste of time. These walls, they're gonna hold up just fine based on what I did there. So what I will do instead, I'll build this as one continuous wall, and that way I can use a string, and it's gonna be a lot easier and a lot faster. Made some more mortar. Now back to work. Let's make the joints look nice. I'm using a tool called the brick jointer. This is a tool I did not know I needed before when I laid the first line, and it really makes all the difference to the final look of the bricks. And now I'm using my wire brush to make the bricks look nice and clean. Right, one more line today. Done. I'm gonna go get some rest. It's 8:15. I've been at it for like 12 hours, so it's time to get some rest and get back tomorrow. Good morning, I'm back, full of energy. So towards the end of the day yesterday, I really felt like I started picking up the pace. and the quality of the work has improved as well. Like, this is a lot cleaner than the first line I did, but I don't think there's actually a lot more for you guys to see. So instead of filming the whole thing, I'm gonna do this. Before I show you guys the final result, let's do a little bit of a debrief and a cost breakdown. So obviously the biggest expense in terms of materials was actual bricks, and I bought a pallet of 504 of them. I'm not sure why they're selling them in 504s, but that's what it was, and it cost me about £1 per brick, so 504 pounds. I also needed 6 bags of cement, which was about £7.75 for each, so it's 47 pounds overall. I needed 1 bag of slurry primer, which was about 30 pounds, and then I also needed a bull bag of soft sand, so this is for the mortar, right? And that was about 60 pounds. In the end, I didn't actually need that many bricks. I think I only used 288. Well, when I say only, there's a lot of bricks, trust me. So I still have about 200 left over, which I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with. But yeah, that was my mistake. I just miscalculated how many I needed. All in all, 681 pounds. But that, of course, isn't counting some of the other expenses that I had, for example, the cement mixer and my personal time. Speaking of which, this was hard. It was way harder than I expected. Like, it took me a while to understand the technique, to get the mortar consistency right, to understand how to deal with all the joints to make them look nice. But I think at the end it was worth it. It was 4 or 5 days overall. It wasn't normal days, of course. Most of them were like 13-hour days, because remember, I still have my day job and I'm doing this on the weekends, and I'm taking some extra time off to make sure I can actually finish it. But yeah, it was a big challenge. Was it worth it? I don't know. It's time for you guys to see the final result and be the judges for yourself. And there you have it. I really hope you liked what you saw. I think the final result is quite nice. There are some things I don't exactly love, especially, you know, the first couple of rows. Every brick I would lay, I would become better and better. So all the previous ones, they kind of look but you know, overall I think it looks nice. In the next video I'm going to put the top and install the sink, so there's going to be quite a lot of cutting going on. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you like what you saw, like, subscribe, help me get the channel off the ground, and I'll see you next time.